Filmmaking note from my boyfriend. Why do independent filmmakers try so hard making their live-action short films look like film, yet settle for CGI-rendered shorts look like, well, a video game? There is just something different between how indie directors treat lighting, exposure, and photography on a live set compared to the way they settle on video gamey lighting, exposure, and photography in a CGI scene. Despite both scenes coming from exactly the same director with the exact same knowledge of cinematography. So how do we bridge our knowledge of normal filmic cinematography over to the CGI world? After compiling multiple settings across different cinematic, I believe I can summarize the key baseline settings in Unreal Engine that provides an answer. I'll create a detailed video with all the settings and values for building a clean canvas for cinematic film looks in Unreal Engine. For those technical details, hit subscribe and like so you can be notified when that video is uploaded. But for now, if you're already familiar with the inner workings of Unreal Engine, I'd like to list the top 12 factors you should be controlling in Unreal Engine at the beginning of every project that you intend to create that has that film look. Number 1, locking your viewport to the film rate. What you see is what you get. There's no point viewing your sequencer in 60 FPS if your intended output will be in the motion blurring 24 FPS. So, start by ensuring that your viewport is locked to the desired film rate. This step is crucial for achieving a consistent and cinematic look throughout your project. By matching the viewport frame rate to your target cinematic frame rate, you create a foundation for adjusting your edit to match what you'll see after render. Number 2, anti-aliasing for smooth visuals. Anti-aliasing is a critical tool for achieving a cinematic look. It helps smooth out jagged edges and provides a more polished and visually pleasing result. Number 3, disabling auto exposure. To have full control over the lighting in your cinematic scene, it's essential to disable auto exposure. This allows you to finely tune the exposure settings to match your artistic vision. Manual exposure control is particularly useful when crafting dramatic lighting scenarios or specific moods within your scenes. Number 4, harnessing lumen reflections. Lumen. Unreal Engine's global illumination system can significantly enhance the realism of your scenes. Utilize lumen properly reflects to achieve accurate and dynamic reflections that mimic real-world lighting conditions. However, keep in mind that high-quality reflections can be resource-intensive, so you may have to opt for a low scalability during edit and reserving cinematic scalability when testing against your scopes. Number 5, reduce systems crashes. While striving for cinematic quality, it's crucial to ensure system stability. Unreal Engine can be demanding on hardware, especially when using advanced rendering features. DirectX 11 instead of 12 may be required to increase stability. Number 6, creating an environmental sun system. Dynamic lighting is a hallmark of cinematic visuals. Unreal Engine offers a robust system for creating an environmental sun that realistically simulates the sun's position and lighting conditions throughout the day. Implementing this system can add depth and authenticity to your scenes. Number 7, creating atmospheric effects. To achieve a cinematic ambience, it is advisable to create various clouds, fog, and volumetric light scattering actors in your scene. These elements can add depth and drama to your scenes, creating a more immersive experience for your audience. Want those God rays through a window? Atmospherics is your friend. Number 8, applying film grain and vignettes. Film grain and vignettes are classic cinematic techniques that add character and depth to your visuals. Film grain can emulate the texture of traditional film, giving your project an authentic cinematic feel. Vignettes, film grain, and depth of field can be controlled in many ways in Unreal. Number 9, utilizing motion blur. Motion blur is a powerful tool for conveying motion and realism in your cinematic scenes. It can be particularly effective in fast-paced action sequences or dynamic camera movements. Number 10, adding lens flare. Lens flares can infuse your scenes with cinematic drama and flair. Unreal Engine provides tools to create realistic lens flares that react dynamically to your scene's lighting. We can use them strategically to enhance the mood and storytelling elements of your project. Number 11, fixing ray tracing reflections. Ray tracing reflections can deliver stunningly realistic reflections, but they can also present challenges. To avoid unwanted artifacts or inaccuracies in your reflections, we will want to include these reflections and control their settings. Number 12, control your rendering options. Cameras in Unreal can be tuned to recreate real-world looks, but so can your rendering options. When I upload the technical video, I will be focusing on rendering in its own video. I've been able to strike a balance between these 12 factors and the render time required to achieve cinematic film looks. My average is about 1 or 2 seconds of render time per frame. Not bad. I'll see you in the technical video where I break down these 12 steps into click-by-click settings that can be used as a starting point for your new project.